Okay, great. Let's call to order then our staff review meeting. It is 6:02 p.m. on March 18th, 2021. Present, we have Jake Pearson, Sue Wilson, Lisa Malkiewicz, Travis Ney, Ned Hacker. Jeremy Lowry is here, but might be maybe in and out based on his coverage reception. And I am Maren Patterson. From staff, I know we had Zachary Smallwood and
Jared will be on in just a little bit.
Okay, perfect. All right, our first agenda item, the minutes. We had two meetings worth of minutes from the February 18th. Those were very lengthy, a lot to review, and then also from the March 4th. So let's start with the February 18th. Did anyone have any corrections, changes, anything that needs to be made for those?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Question, comment, page 4, my comment. Probably my fault, but isn't exactly what I was intending to say. And I wonder how do I go about that? Do I?
You said page 4?
Yeah, page 4, 1, 2, 3, third paragraph at the end. It just says she relies on those who have a traffic degree. She stated that growth is inevitable and can we mitigate things to make it work rather than stunt the growth. I don't know. That's not exactly what I was going for. I was going for more. I mean, to me, that sounds like the Ed Abbey quote. I'm worried that I sound like the Ed Abbey quote. Growth for the sake of growth is the mindset of a cancer. I don't want to sound like that. That's not exactly what I was trying to say. I was trying to say, I know it's inevitable. We can't stop it. I'm going to go with the flow. But I think, I was trying to say that I think all of us, myself and many people, think traffic studies are to say whether it will work or not work. And that's not the purpose of traffic studies, I've learned. It's the purpose they've always said it will work, but sometimes they say with these conditions. And I don't know, can I write a sentence or two that's maybe more direct to what I thought I was trying to say and turn it in? How does this work?
Yeah, I mean, if that's something you want to do to clarify that would be completely fine. As for something like that, we might want to bring these back so that the whole commission can make sure that they see those couple sentences. I know it's weird, but it's procedural.
Procedural. One, I feel bad to hold up the minutes, and two, it's like I'm gonna come back and so basically I come back and say this, and you're like, Lisa, you're an idiot. That's nothing close to what you actually said, if that's what you meant.
No, and that's fine. I think that's more than. Don't worry about holding up the minutes. The minutes are fine. It's not like we're waiting on something for these. I think if I remember correctly. Sorry, just double checking. Yeah, none of these I don't think were zone changes. So we're not waiting for these for anything special. So don't worry about holding those up.
Yeah, Lisa, I think that you should have it reflect your thoughts. So I wouldn't worry about, having it be delayed. So
Sure.
And it's not that earth-shattering. I would like to make it reflect my thoughts a little better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, perfect.
In which case you want to postpone doing them?
Yeah.
At least that's it. Okay, I'll drop my comments off at the office tomorrow.
Okay, that's perfect.
They're mostly just little grammatical things, periods and commas and he, she's, and that kind of stuff. But
Okay.
Great.
It's nice to have them read nicely.
Yeah. So we'll postpone the February 18th minutes. What about the March 4th minutes? Were people able to review those? Any corrections, changes?
I had one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, no, I guess I had two. I mean, they're kind of, they should be written good. Anyway, this one is on page 3, 1, 2, 3, the fourth paragraph, which happens to be comment from me. I kind of have the same comment as Lisa did, but On the third line, there's an extra period after area.
Yes, I
I
noticed
mean,
that.
it just, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
The next paragraph down, not Miss Milkevich, but the one after that. 1, 2, third line up from the bottom. Drain system will be needed to meet the city's engineering department requirements. So, that was it.
Okay. Do you feel like the tone of your comment was okay? You're okay with how it was?
Yeah, they're fine. Yep.
Okay.
What if we just struck the word "be" from that third line up, Ned? So that the drain system will need to meet the city's engineering requirements and just drop the word "be," B-E.
Yep. Either way.
Yeah, either correction, I think so.
Okay.
That'd be great. Okay.
Okay, I'll let them, I'll let Susan figure out which one she wants to do.
Yeah, how to edit that. Okay, that works. Okay, no findings of fact for this packet, so we'll just go to agenda item number 4.
Yeah, hopefully this will be a pretty quick, short, sweet, to the point. It's just an accessory dwelling unit off Anderson Avenue at 766 West, just across the street from the junior high. Wait, elementary. Let's try that. Elementary. Sorry. I drove by it today. I drove by both the elementary and then I drove and I saw the junior high because I was going and looking at the AAA. and things.
Yeah,
So I
they're
got-
just a street away from each other, right?
Yeah.
Together.
So this is a 0.2 acre site with a 3,000 square foot primary residence and a proposed 960 square foot accessory dwelling unit. When the applicant originally built the house, he had a walkout basement put in. I have pictures of that in the official PowerPoint. And so now he's just wanting to turn that into accessory dwelling unit. It is the 960 square feet is approximately 32% of the total area of the home, which is less than the 1,000 square feet and less than the 40% that we currently allow. And then there is the 2 bedrooms. And as you probably saw, there was another bedroom that he fully intends to convert to cold storage, is what he's told me. You can kind of see on the plans the cold storage next to it. He wants to expand that to allow for additional space there for his cold storage. So it pretty much just follows everything. It meets all the codes and things like that. So are there any questions on this one?
No?
Okay, well, that's easy. So I will say that I checked today and the ADU bill did get signed by the governor. So I would anticipate seeing something before October 1st.
So what does that mean, Zach?
That means that, for example, this particular application, you won't be seeing things like this anymore. Internal ADUs are not are not subject to kind of these conditional use permit approvals. They are allowed by right, and we can still require a permit, and we probably will, but it'll be administrative, just so that we can still keep an eye on them, still make sure that they're being used for affordable housing solution as opposed to Airbnbs, things like that.
And follow the other rules.
Yes, and follow the rules.
However, you won't have to do any notification to neighbors and no public comment. So that should raise a few eyebrows.
Oh, and no restrictions on percentage of square footage and occupancy, right?
Yeah. Well,
And parking spaces.
we're allowed to regulate, we're allowed to require one parking space. But again, that's going to be an administrative approval, which I mean, these have pretty much turned into an administrative approval. You guys just hear it and it's pretty quick.
But still that they have to be parked off the street. The parking space has to be off the street.
That is correct. Yes, we're allowed to require one additional off-street parking space. So, and then, yeah, like Lisa had mentioned. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's probably the same thing. The state law doesn't necessarily have requirements on number of bedrooms. Like this application, he could have that third bedroom, right?
Yep, yep, he would be allowed to have the third bedroom. We're not allowed to regulate the amount of bedrooms or the size. So, yeah.
What's the legality around that though? If the governor signed today, could he petition and say it was in effect today, or what's the timing?
Actually the law lays it out. The bill lays it out. I believe it's October 1st. If we don't make our changes, yeah, sorry, I'm looking at it right here. So if we don't make some of the changes that are required in this bill, it goes into effect on October 1st. There was something else on there that says May 5th, but I'll deal with that. So, yeah.
So does it work
And the HO
retroactively? He could rent out a room now that the state law says that he can do that?
He can't do it through Airbnb.
Right. But this ADU technically has 3 bedrooms, right? And once the state law is in effect, he could have the whole place rented out, right?
Yes. Yeah. Come that time. Yeah. It's a little murky. Pretty much these conditional use permits will probably just go away.
Right.
They won't be held to those conditions. But that's more of a legal question that I don't know the answer to. So
Can I ask another question?
of course.
And then this is based off what we have to do in the schools, so I could be completely off. But in the schools, we have a responsibility to inform our consumer of the laws and changes in the laws. So do we have any kind of responsibility to let him know this is changing October 1st?
Well, he's listening, so
Or
he will
all
probably
ADUs,
know.
right, in the city.
I'm sorry.
Or let all ADUs in the city know, you know, because
Yeah, it might be something.
that had 3 bedrooms and they could only use 2, or you know, lots of different situations like that.
Yeah, and that might be something that we need to look at and maybe, you know, kind of alert people to. Because yeah, like we require like an affidavit be recorded against the property, all that. I don't think we have to do that anymore. So there's quite a few things that we'll probably have to do. And
Well, and specifically to this, Mr. Chavez's situation, he's gonna have to spend a little bit of money to change or partition that third bedroom off and to sign an affidavit. Maybe he should withhold his item and then just in October become a accessory.
Which was my question, Lisa, is all of this retroactive?
it is not retroactive. In one of the substitutes, this was the 5th version of this bill. In one of the previous versions, they did have it retroactive to the beginning of the year, but they have since backed off that. So right now, he would still be held to the same 13 conditions up through October. Come October, or whenever the code changes, there might be, I'll have to look at it a little bit more. I'll probably have to get with the attorney's office to see if we need to, I don't know, like revoke the conditional use permit, or, just amend it. Because I mean, really, it doesn't, I don't think the 13 conditions state the bedroom counts. It's just part of the code, and that they have to meet the
Right,
code.
percentage of the, right?
Yeah.
Over a certain percentage, and so then,
Right. So, so we just state that they have to meet the current code for, yeah, applicable standards outlined in chapter 17.78 of the Murray City Land Use Ordinance. So once that changes, this still is in effect. And I anticipate that with my code change, that I'm going to be putting in there that, you know, for internal ADUs, you can have as many bedrooms as you want, you blah, 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 you know, the whole spiel. So,
so what do you think about applications that are coming between now and October 1st?
I'm gonna try to probably dissuade them from doing it and say, hey, just, you know, don't do it right now, you know?
But I guess if someone had an ADU that met the current requirements, maybe, you know, they only have the space for 2 rooms and they want to start making money renting it out, I might be worth 7 months of rent just to go ahead. I don't know. There's a lot of variables there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously these conditional use permits cost money too. They cost $300 just to apply for them. So, you know, that's usually how I can sell people to just wait until October. So to kind of, you know, let things go. But I can tell you I'm a lot less strict and stringent when, you know, I'm looking through these and I still have to meet the codes and everything like that, but I know that they'll be changing soon. So
What does the law say? I know that something that was important in our code was like the interconnectivity of the fire alarms and having like their own, you know, heating system, all
Heating.
that stuff was checked, right?
yeah,
So-
and that there are some, they did change some of the building code as part of this. They changed the Utah building code. For example, for like egress windows, that was always one of the largest barriers for people to do an ADU, especially in their basement, is that we required them to dig, you know, new window wells and for fire egress. And the building code did amend that, or this bill did amend that said if it was legal when it was built, that's allowed to be as it is, which is, it was really surprising that actually made it all the way through. I didn't think it would, but if it was built to code when it was built, then it's allowed to continue, and cities can't require that they put in brand new windows. Again, it was one of the most cost prohibitive things from people doing an ADU.
Did the HOA bit stick in the HOAs can't regulate them?
I think so. I think that stayed in too. That I live in a multifamily type. I live in a townhome, but that still made me happy because I like to slight HOAs when I can. So
Yep.
can't believe I just said that in a public meeting. I shouldn't have said that.
I live in an HOA. Quite the
And
man.
Jared just came in, so you know he just, yeah, that's gonna make.
I
him feel
obviously
good.
missed the good stuff. Well,
You know, I just say in a public
Staff,
meeting that I
right?
like to slight HOAs. That's
You said
fine.
it twice.
that is like not even in the top 10 bad things you've said in public meetings. You're fine.
And he meant,
Is that the PUDs or just HOAs in general, or do you have a
and
preference?
he meant personally, not professionally, right?
Right.
Exactly.
And to answer that, Jeremy, PUDs, PUDs are a type of development. You can't see me doing my hands, I don't think, but they are a type of development. They are not, PUDs often have an HOA, so that would still apply. The HOAs would not be able to regulate those. So
Can I ask,
does that answer your question, Jeremy?
Yes, it does. I was more asking your personal feelings, but yes, it does.
Right.
Can I ask a quick question? What happened at the city council meeting with the Vine development on First Ward property?
It didn't go to city council.
Oh, my bad. I thought it already went. I thought.
Well,
said
it
that-
doesn't, it actually doesn't go to the city council. As a design review, you guys are the final you're the land use authority. So you make, once it's decided, it's done. They're at building permit right now. So I think they were at building permit last meeting too. I haven't reviewed it yet. So, but that's on my list of things to do.
Strike two for the night.
I
Me
know.
or Zachary?
Oh, Zach.
So-
I heard the Bullion project is going back on our schedule. Is that right?
April 1st,
Yes.
correct?
Yep, the notices, all 130 something of them are sitting in the mailbox, ready to go out. So
Is
Be
that spring
prepared.
break?
I don't know, is it spring break?
Ooh,
I
It
think-
is. It is
It
spring
is.
break.
wow.
I already printed and stuffed them, so no, I'm not changing it.
But I bet the neighborhood, there'll be at least one comment saying
Oh,
it's
yeah.
sneaky to do it over spring break.
Yep, always.
Well, you better tell me before the end of the night, Jared, because they're sitting in the mailbox.
Yep.
Okay.
My inclination is to say we planned on it for the 1st and produced them all. We're doing it on the 1st. But will you, let me ask a question, because how many of you are going to be around for spring break, April 1st? Because it is the only item on the agenda. So I'm not worried about the neighborhood. Neighborhoods always think whatever it is, if it's Rosh Hashanah, it's somebody's birthday. They think we did it to keep them from knowing it was going on. That just happens. But if I don't have a quorum that night, if I'm likely to not have a quorum, then I think we ought to push it off. How many of you, I saw a couple of hands. Ned, you're gone or around?
Around.
Around.
But
So
Jared, aren't you going to tell us we have to be there because we can meet you anywhere, even on spring break now, on the beach?
Yeah,
that is true. So.
on a
that is
beach.
true. How many of you are unable to attend and want us to go ahead and have that meeting without you? Or excited for that?
I
Meredith,
think I will be there, but I don't know if I will. And you
Okay.
can have it without me.
I think we'll go forward. We have 4 that are probably going to be there, and if we need to, we can get people looped in digitally, and we'll move forward. It's it's not like it hasn't had exposure. They've been out to the neighborhood meeting and all of that too. So we'll move it on and see what we get. So
Okay.
thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I have a question. When do we think we may start meeting in person again?
I'm so glad you asked that, because that was one of the things that Melinda wanted us to mention to you. The city council is starting to meet live. They're not having audiences. They're not having public there live, but the council's meeting live. And they wanted us to ask when you all think you might feel comfortable starting to do that and getting together live at City Hall to broadcast from there probably at first, and then bringing the public back slowly. What do you think? How many of you feel like you'd be comfortable doing that soon?
I've had both vaccinations, if that helps anybody.
Me too.
Oh, wow.
I've had one.
All right.
I've had my first.
And,
had both.
0, me too. Zach was just telling me that the news was out that by the 24th of March, everybody 16 and older is going to be eligible. So do you think that we might be, if we're all vaccinated during March and April, we might have our May meetings back live again? And there's a good chance that people, aside from us, other people, will start getting vaccinated too, and that I don't know, maybe they'll start to want to have us just have people back live again. We need to consider still broadcasting for a long time, I think, maybe forever, still broadcasting this way, a Zoom meeting, but a Zoom meeting of us all live together, so that people can participate and watch over the feed and over Zoom.
So Jared
would-
wants to add to mine. Go ahead, Jared, I'm sorry.
I'll at any point I would be up for in-person meetings.
I would
Okay.
say the first meeting in May let's give us time to.
Let's tentatively think about that then. The first one's in May, and we'll see how close we are to it next time we're together. But Melinda just wanted to get a gauge of how much appetite there was for it. I had a 4-hour live workshop with the city council today about what we're working on with the moratorium, and it was actually kind of nice. I'm going to admit that it was kind of nice to be in front of them.
I miss all you people in
Yeah,
person.
it's less lonely. The 4 hours
It
was
is.
less lonely.
My office is just so boring.
Yeah.
Even with Jared
We
right
need
here.
Christmas tree lights. Ask Susan to help you out with the Christmas tree lights.
Little ambiance.
I completely agree with you guys that I'd rather be in person, but I have to admit, I just got used to this video thing. I went for a run, came back in and just put a shirt on.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I have canceled, but they're not appropriate.
Thank you.
But I just got the rhythm of it where you could do multiple things right before the meeting. Darn
You know,
it.
and I haven't worn a tie for meetings since this all started. It's been a year since I've had to wear a tie. My shirt's untucked right now. So
Don't
I
stand
don't
up.
think you should have to start wearing
Just-
a tie.
Yeah, just do away with
I don't
the tie.
think there's any obligation.
the ghosts of the people who trained me as a planner would haunt me. I'll have to wear a tie for meeting days. It's the only day I wear a tie.
Previous mayors didn't wear ties.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll consider it.
Go with the bolero. He had a bolero tie.
Oh, yeah. That's much
And a handlebar mustache.
very nice.
Really have to do that one.
Well, thank you for asking the question. That's exactly what we needed to know, was how much appetite there was to get back together and how comfortable everyone would be. So we really appreciate it.
Great. Okay, does anyone have any other questions, or do you want to take a quick 2-minute break before the meeting?
I need water, so yes, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna go tuck my shirt in. Thank you all.
Holding an in-person meeting with an anchor location presents a substantial risk to the health and safety of those in attendance. Under these circumstances, Utah Code 52-4-2074 allows for electronic meetings to be held without an anchor location, so long as the public had an opportunity to view this meeting and submit public comments. We are holding tonight's Planning Commission meeting via video conference, and the meeting is being live streamed at www.murraycitylive.com. If you have a public comment to submit to the Planning Commission, please do so via email at planningcommission@murray.utah.gov. So we will start our agenda items tonight. We have a pretty light agenda. Our first item of business is the approval of minutes. We are postponing our approval of minutes for our February 18th meeting for some revisions. So we will move to our March 4th meeting minutes. And are there any changes or updates, corrections? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the March 4th minutes.
Madam Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the March 4 Planning Commission meeting minutes as written, with a few minor edits that we referred to in our pre-meeting.
Great, thank you, Commissioner Hacker. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Malkovich. All in favor, say aye.
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 Are there any opposed to that motion? Okay, motion passes. Item number 2, conflict of interest. Do any commissioners have a conflict of interest with the agenda item this evening?
No.
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 Oh, I do not have a conflict of interest either. So item number 3 is the approval of finding of facts. We didn't have a finding of facts for this meeting, so we will move on to our conditional use permit. Jean Chavez applied for a conditional use permit for accessory dwelling unit located at 766 West Anderson Avenue. Zach, is the applicant here at the meeting? Yes. Okay, great. Okay, we'll have a staff report by Mr. Smallwood.
Lost my mute button for a minute. Can you guys all see my screen?
Yes.
Great, thank you. So yes, this is a request from Jean Chavez for the construction or an operation of an accessory dwelling unit at 766 West Anderson Avenue. Excuse me. You can see here the latest aerials we have. The house was still being constructed. It's a brand new house. It's right here off Anderson Avenue, and the elementary school is just to the south. This was originally part of a subdivision that you approved recently, and I don't know why I brought it up because I don't remember the name of the subdivision. So Circle A Estates, I think it was. There we go, I remember. It is in the R18 zone, which our code does allow for accessory dwelling units in all single-family zones, subject to obtaining a conditional use permit. So here I have the building sketch that was provided by the applicant. This was kind of when he had his house built. So you can see the front facade and the driveway space for the ADU. The whole total square footage of the house is 3,011 square feet, and is laid out like this. And it's on a 0.2 acre site, which is about 8,700 square feet. The proposed ADU, which is on this slide here, is proposed at 960 square feet. The code allows for up to 1,000 square feet or 40% of the main dwelling, whichever is less. The 960 square feet amounts to 32% So it does meet our standards in the zoning ordinance. Also, I'll go back to this. You can see this TMP trash, that's temporary trash when they were building the building, but this is now a driveway here, and he has since poured an additional driveway into the back of the building as well. And you can see that here in these pictures. So this is the additional concrete pad that goes to the back of the house. This is the front of the house. And then you can see it here on your right-hand side. That's the entrance to the ADU through the walkout basement. So it's pretty, we don't allow short-term rentals in accessory dwelling units. So there is a condition that no Airbnbs, no Verbos or anything like that would be allowed in this accessory dwelling unit. Additionally, no separate utility meters. He said that that's not the intention. This was already built and planned to be kind of operated as an accessory dwelling unit. Let's see, just verify everything. All right, so we are recommending that the Planning Commission approve the conditional use permit subject to the 13 conditions that are on the screen. Are there any questions I can answer at this point? Okay, thank you.
Okay, could we have the applicant maybe get unmuted, I guess?
Are we
Okay,
unmuted?
Mr. Chavez, you should be able to speak.
Okay,
Hello, welcome to our meeting. Thank you for being here. Would you state your name and address for the record?
it's Gene Chavez. The address is 766 Anderson Avenue.
Great, thank you so much. And have you had a chance to review the conditions of approval, the 13 conditions?
Yes, we've looked at them.
And will you be able to comply?
Yes.
Wonderful, thank you. Is there any additional information that you would like to share for your application?
No, not at this time.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. I will now open this meeting for public comment regarding this item. If there is anyone that would like to make a public comment, please do so by emailing planningcommission@murray.utah.gov. Or if there's anyone participating in the webinar, you can make a live comment by clicking raise your hand button. Is there anyone, Zach, that's making a live comment that registered before?
Sorry about that. I see that somebody did register. If you're here to make a live comment, could you click the raise hand button?
Okay. If you are going to make a live comment, we ask that you keep your comment to 3 minutes. And that if you have prior to the meeting submitted an email comment, it will be read in the meeting right now. But we ask that you do not make any additional live comments if you've submitted an email comment. So did we receive any emails?
No, we did not receive any email comments.
Okay. And then if anyone would like to make a live comment, please click the raise hand button.
Can probably give it a minute or two just to see if anything comes in.
Yeah. Okay, what do you think, Zach? Have we got any emails or comments?
Jared, I need to ask your opinion on something.
Shoot.
So we did receive a comment at 6:31, but it doesn't pertain to this.
I know the
Item.
one you mean. No, that's different. We'll forward that on to the commissioners as an
Okay.
unrelated. I know the one you're talking about, and we actually got another one besides that just now, but not about either of those things, not about this and not about the other thing that the other email was about, but they're just comments coming to the planning commissioner's email. I don't
Okay.
think they're related. They're not related at all to the meeting, but we'll forward them to you after the meeting, so you have them.
Okay, great. So they're not about this agenda item.
They're not about this agenda
not
item.
about
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, great. Well, if we haven't received any emails or live comments about this agenda item, I think that we will close the public comment period. Is there any discussion among the commissioners about this item? Questions? Okay. If not, then I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, sorry. I'll make a motion that the planning commission approve a conditional use permit to allow the construction and or operation of accessory dwelling unit at the property address 766 West Anderson Avenue, subject to conditions 1 through 13.
I'll second it.
Great. Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner Wilson to approve a conditional use permit to allow the construction and or operation of an accessory dwelling unit at the property address 766 West Anderson Avenue, subject to the 13 conditions, with a second by Commissioner Lowry. Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, then we can call for a vote.
Okay, I'm sorry, I got confused. Was it Commissioner Lowry that seconded or was it
Was
Commissioner
it not?
Pearson?
I seconded it, but
You
I don't know if Commissioner Lowry did as well.
I did not.
It was Commissioner Pearson, sorry.
Okay, sorry, I wrote down Jake and then I was like, no, wait.
It was my bad, thanks, Zach.
That's okay. That's all right. Okay, Commissioner Wilson,
Yes.
Commissioner Pearson,
Yes.
Commissioner Lowry,
Yes.
Commissioner Nay,
Yes.
Commissioner Milkovich,
Yes.
Commissioner Hacker,
Yes.
and Chair Patterson.
Yes. Okay, motion passes. Congratulations on your accessory dwelling unit and thank you for being at the planning commission tonight.
You're welcome.
Our last, is there any other business for us to discuss?
I think we covered most of it in the
Okay.
pre-meeting.
I mentioned just, and I'll just be really quick, I promise. I mentioned that we had a meeting with the city council today, a workshop about the general plan. They had requested an overview of the general plan, how it was adopted, how it works, how we use it when we review proposals to change the general plan or proposals to change zonings, proposals for projects, et cetera. They wanted to kind of understand that all better than they felt like they did. So we went through a long and sort of in-depth review of the general plan and how it works. And it really was kind of, I'm going to go ahead and say it was fun for me getting it ready and then talking to them this afternoon. And we do need to do some land use training as a commission coming up this year. We're supposed to do yearly trainings. We'll get some of that together and have our own kind of fun session. We might want to talk about general plan. We do have new members and the general plan can be a little bit of an unfamiliar territory. So that might be kind of fun. So be thinking of things that you're interested in beyond that you'd like to have training for. Things that you find confusing or particularly troubling or anything like that. And we'll start putting that together for the summer. Okay. So just something to think about. Thanks very much.
Okay. If there's no further business, then we can call for a motion to adjourn with the time.
Motion to adjourn at 6:45.
Anyone want a second?
Second.
Thanks,
It has to be
Sue.
the fastest one on record, right?
We gotta tell Scott, man.
For a couple of years.
9 minutes. 9 minutes. That's the best.
It wasn't quite the record breaker, but it's close.
Good
What?
job. man.
What?
So
Close.
close.
Was close.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you
Good
next
night.
time.
Everyone.
Have a good evening.